Attention, everyone. The meeting is live in 3, 2, 1. I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Board hearing. When addressing the board, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door for the record. Presentations by the county, respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The board may recess at 12:30 and reconvene at 1:30 to conclude its business if needed. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Your case will be announced, and Ms. Meyer will conduct the oath of witness. Staff will present their evidence on your case, and then you'll be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. We'll close the hearing, the board will deliberate, make a motion, vote, and then I will announce a decision. All decisions are based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history. The board may ask questions and allow other witness testimony if necessary. If the board issues an order for compliance, it is your responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer on or before the date ordered to demonstrate the violations have been corrected. Depending on the order, code enforcement staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you have complied. If the staff believes you have not complied, you'll receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice. Otherwise, it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined by Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of the Code Enforcement Board will need a record of the proceedings. This record is comprised of the testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is your responsibility to ensure that a verbatim record of proceedings is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of the order to appeal the board's decision to circuit court. And before we begin, please silence all electronic devices. Recording secretary, may I have a roll call, please?
Good morning, board members. Lorenzen,
Present.
Clayton,
Present.
Tarazio, Priscilla,
Present.
Wright.
Present.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, seeing no minutes, call first case, please.
All county staff who will testify must take the oath of witness. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. First case. First case is on page 3 of your agenda, number 3, case number CE 2100-1172. The owner is Betty Jean Vanoy, 512 Holly Lane. We have service, and we have a party who is virtual for this case. Ms. Vanoy, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I sure can.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lauren Vanoy. I'm Betty Vanoy's granddaughter and power of attorney. My address is 13292 Stone Pond Drive in Jacksonville, Florida, and zip code 32224.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated January 28th of 2021. It's owner occupied, not in foreclosure, and there are no life safety issues. Excuse me. The violations are accumulations and outside open storage. And when I initially arrived, did the first inspection, I spoke to the property owners. You can see there's been significant improvement on the property since the case began, but still some things that need to be tightened up to be able to close this case. Black plastic in the backyard. There's that stuff there. And there's also a rug that's been there for a while. This is a corner lot. This backyard is visible from Kingsway. So, and this is the initial picture when I did the first investigation or first site visit. So since then, they've removed some of that stuff, but they put up screening where you can't see behind that. But the next picture, you can see a little bit of stuff behind there, but it's been improved, but I can't tell what's behind that screening. Wouldn't take much to clean it up.
Excellent. Thank you. Ms. Benoit, what would you like to tell the board?
Yes, sir. I did submit photos of the improvements that all of the issues have been addressed. The backyard and the carport is completely vacant. We are currently in the process of selling the property. My grandmother is 85 years old and in a skilled nursing facility here in Jacksonville. Otherwise, she would be here in attendance. I just want to make sure that the photos were included in the file of the improvements that were forwarded over.
Yes, they were.
Okay. Do I need to screen share them or are they visible to everyone on the commission there?
No, ma'am. Everybody on the board has a copy of them.
Okay, thank you. The only statement that I want to make is I was alerted via mail via my father, who is residing at the property at this time as we're preparing to sell the home, that there was a hearing today. It was the first time that I found out about the violations. Totally on my grandmother and father for not following up. But as soon as I was alerted of the issue, Officer Harwell and I had a phone conversation. He forwarded over the supplementary materials, including the photos, and I made sure that all of the issues were addressed. The only question I have is on one of the violations at the bottom where it talks about the outdoor storage. It now has a lock. Based on the description and some of the legalese, it was kind of confusing on if that would suffice or if that needs to be completely ripped out. So I did have that question as far as code enforcement rules, because I'm not as familiar with Hillsborough County rules.
Officer, would you like to address that?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't hear what she's talking about.
Officer Harwell, one of the last violations listed on the documentation that was sent over was regarding the outdoor storage on the carport. It now has a lock. It looks like it was mentioned because it was not locked. That was the issue. I just need to make sure that that is suffice. If not, we need to have it removed, and it just wasn't clear.
Yeah, so basically the way it's written, anything that's not in a building that has 3 solid load-bearing walls and a solid roof is either accumulations or outside open storage. One has value to you, one doesn't. So if I'm still not sure about the lock part. I'm
I
missing.
think what she's asking about is in the picture, it shows some sort of cabinet on the right-hand side of the carport.
Yeah, if that's used for outside, if that's used for storage, I'm not sure what type of cabinet. We have to look at the photograph again. If that's a cabinet that's commonly used on the inside of a building, then it should not be out in the carport.
It's an actual physical structure that's built into the wall. But we can have it removed. We're in the process of making modifications to the home. The more recent photos that I sent over may be easier to see what I'm referencing.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
So Officer Harwell's taking a look at the pictures that you submitted, and he says that's in compliance. So it's your testimony to the board today that everything's been cleaned up and removed and is ready for an inspection, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Board, I've been happy to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Razio?
You want to make it?
I'm prepared to make a motion. I move in case number CE 21001172. Based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes and ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation and the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, that I grant 3 days to come in compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed.
Second by right.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, ma'am, you have 3 days. You'll get with Officer Harwell and he'll come out and take a look at it and make sure that it's okay. And then once you're in compliance, you're in good shape.
Okay, thank you very much for your time today, and I appreciate Officer Harwell's assistance at the beginning of this process when I became aware. I just wanted to put that on the record, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Next case, please.
Turn to page 4, number 7, case number CE 200-18648. Louisa Blanco Thomas, Jason Thomas, Arthur Thomas, Carly Hart. Location is 3913 Moores Lake Road. We have service and we have a party here to speak today. Good morning, sir. I understand you're the attorney. Are you representing the property owners?
Microphone, sir. 1 second.
The red light, okay, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I represent only Louisa Thomas.
Thank you.
Well, let me repeat that. Louisa Thomas and the estate of Arthur Thomas.
Thank you. I'm sorry. State your name and address for the
Sure, I'm
record.
sorry. My name is W. Dale Gabbard, Gabbard. My office address is 3609 West Azeel Street, Tampa, Florida. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Florida.
Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Sweeney. Microphone, sir.
Mine was off too. Good morning, Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This complaint came to us on December 28, 2020. The property is located at 3913 Moores Lake Road, Dover. Property is zoned ASC 1. Property is not in foreclosure. The property is in a life estate of Louisa Blanco Thomas. Upon my site visit, the initial site visit on 12/28, I observed on the property a Connex box container and several vehicles that were untagged on the property. I spoke with Mr. Gabbard on March 29th, 2021. He advised me of some situations ongoing with the family. However, the conditions continued throughout the year of 2020. As of my last site visit for the photos in today's presentation on the 15th of March, the Connex box was removed. So that condition was complied on that day. However, as you can see in the photos, there are several vehicles that are untagged and unregistered at this time.
Okay, Counselor, what would you like to?
If I may, just so the board knows exactly what's going on, I represent, like I say, Louisa Thomas, who is the widow of Arthur Thomas. Mr. Thomas died a few years ago. He had the property in his name alone, although it was their homestead. So the property has descended. It's already been taken care of through the courts. The fact that she now Miss Thomas has a life estate. The remainder is owned by Mr. Thomas's children by prior marriage. They're not Mrs. Thomas's children. So she is still living on the property. The vehicles, I believe, are there 3 or 4 vehicles?
I'm not sure about the vehicle right there in the front because it does have a legal tag, but there's this one, there's 2 in front of that, then there's a Corvette. There's 2 underneath the metal carport. The pickup truck, as you can see, it hasn't been moved in a long time, so I'm pretty confident that tag's outdated. along with the vehicle in front of it. So you're talking probably 4, maybe 5
Okay,
vehicles.
so those vehicles, just so everyone's aware, my client Louisa Thomas claims no ownership interest in those. They are supposed to be taken by the children. We've had issues with just trying to divide everything up, but as far as the vehicles are concerned, any of those other vehicles besides that, there's a Hummer in that photograph, which my client has. And then I believe there's like a 56 or 57 Chevrolet, which is probably in a garage. If you can't see it, that's garaged. Those two are my clients. The others, she's not claiming any ownership interest in. So we are at the point, and they have now gotten an attorney as of some time back, and I am working with this attorney saying, you need to get these vehicles out of there. So that's kind of where we are. I spoke with him as recently as, I think it was, it was late last week. He's getting with the 3 children and trying to get this accomplished. So my client has a little bit of a problem in that she's not claiming an ownership interest in them, although they're on her property technically right now. So my goal is probably to do an ultimatum to the other attorney for the grown children that you have so many days, and that's what I'm going to be asking the board's indulgence. You have, so much time to get these off of there. I'm assuming that probably don't run, so they're going to have to, get a wrecker or whatever, a tow truck, to get them off. And if they don't do that, then I probably would ask for a short hearing with the judge and ask for approval to be able to take them out of there. So,
Counselor, how much time do you think you need to complete that process?
as we all know, hearings take time, and my concern is if they don't get them off, I don't want to have my client moving them without court approval. So I would ask for 120 days if you can allow me that.
Okay. Questions from the board?
Yeah, I've got,
Mr. Priscilla?
yeah, I've got a question and I can then proceed with a motion. But,
Okay.
Question being, looking at the picture, this is a fairly substantial size lot of land. If you have an inoperable vehicle and you're not bringing it on a road, that is a violation. I'm confused by that. I mean, it's not on a public road. It's on a private lot of land.
Yeah, we deal with private.
Microphone.
We deal with private property on every issue. Our ordinance stipulates it has to be operable, have a current tag on it, and be legally driven down the road. Otherwise, it's a violation of county codes and ordinances. It doesn't matter what size the land is. And as you can see, I'm taking the photo from the gate. I'm at the right of way. So any violation anything is a possible violation if you can see it from a place where we have a right to be. That's the county right of way or a neighbor's yard. It's obviously, we can see this, and it's obviously a neighbor could see it, so they made a complaint.
No, it's just a question I have. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, if they have like 2 or 3 acres and they take an old trash vehicle and throw it in the back, and it's actually it's a violation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair to make a motion.
Please, Mr. Priscilla, go ahead.
Considering the fact that this has been going on for almost 2 years, my motion would be that I move in a case of CE 2001868, that based on the evidence presented, I find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Code and Ordinance as listed in staff presentation. Further, based on the gravity of violation, the action taken by the violator, I grant 60 days to come in compliance. Compliance is not achieved by that time, a fine of $300 per day be assessed.
Clayton, second.
Thank you. The motion has been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Counselor, you have 60 days in which to get that taken care of. After that, it's a fine of $300 per day.
I'm sorry, how
Doing
many,
my best.
how many days?
60?
60 and 300.
300.
In
Yes.
the event that, in the event there's any issues with the adult children getting the items off, and I cannot get a court hearing with the judge within the 60 days.
The good news is that you're going to be in touch with Officer Sweeney through the entire process, so he can work with you on that.
If I can bring that before the board, or at least bring that up as an impossibility of getting before the judge to get it resolved, that's my concern.
Understand.
My client doesn't own them. I mean, they're part of the estate, but she's not claiming an ownership interest in them, so it's just
Understand.
concern in moving it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Next case, please.
Okay, let's back up to number 6 on the same page. Some people have arrived for that. Number 6, case number 2100-2224. The owner is Annetta L. Henderson, Kevin Henderson, and Kimberly Irene Henderson. Location 11003 Clay Pit Road. We have service, and we have some parties signed in for this case.
Any chance we could switch and have the officer sit at the table so that the folks can come up to the stand? It's a little easier when there's multiple people. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Raise your right hand, whoever, if you're both going to testify, both of you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And state your name and address, and please speak into the microphone so we can get it.
My name is Kevin Henderson. My address is 414 Timber Creek Drive, Brandon, Florida.
And ma'am, state your name and address.
Oh, I'm Kimberly Henderson and my address is 11003 Clay Pit Road, Tampa, Florida.
Do you recognize the property in the photo?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, officer.
Good morning. My name is Officer Chris Masson, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case number CE 2100-2224, located at 11003 Clay Pit Road, Seffner, Florida. The case started on February 19, 2021. It's owner occupied, not in foreclosure, and zoned AS1. The owner is Life Estate of Annette Henderson, and it has the violations of accumulations, fences, exterior walls, protective treatments, roofs and parts thereof, windows and exterior doors, outside open storage, and nuisance conditions. The violations of in-out vehicles and overgrowth have been complied, but we're asking for a ruling.
Some of these items have been complied.
Yes, sir, just the inoperable vehicles and the overgrowth. The
Okay.
lawn's being maintained.
All right. Thank you. All right, folks, what would you like to tell us? Come on, step up to the mic there and don't be shy. Whoever wants to start.
You want to start?
I don't know what to even.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I want to say,
Okay.
I've been trying to work on this issue, but I'm having health issues with my back, and I really need to attend to it. I didn't realize, well, I hardly go by there, except when it's dark, so I don't really notice this. Because I give her a ride to work in the morning. That's about it. And I do go there and mow the grass once in a while. But it hasn't been growing. This time of year, it's going to start. I know. I mow my own grass.
So you've seen the conditions and you understand the violations. How much time do you think it might take you to get things cleaned up and complied?
Maybe about 5 months, maybe. I can get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add, ma'am?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as,
The microphone, sorry.
basically the garbage and everything else, all the stuff that was supposed to be taken, I took the fence down, took all that down. So I know that there's the vehicles that have to be removed. But that's,
Never mind. I can do it.
I know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not an ability to really do anything myself for the most part. I mean, I can do some. I don't know what else we can do.
Sure, understand. Questions from the board, anyone?
I have one question. Is it occupied?
Yes.
Ma'am, just speak into the microphone. I know he's
yes.
over there, but yeah,
Oh, yes.
thank you.
Whoa,
Microphone.
it's on. To the inspector, there are life safety issues going on?
One of my concerns is the nuisance condition. When you walk up to the door, there's a very, very strong smell of feces, like it's a septic issue or something's going on, which is not visible because I only have certain access to the property.
That's the only life safety issue that you have?
Yes.
Any other questions from the board, or would somebody like to entertain a motion?
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Priscilla. Please proceed.
I move in a case of CE 21002224 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Code and Ordinance as listed in staff presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator, I move that on regards to items 12.3.a, nuisance conditions, that compliance is not achieved by 7 days, a fine of $300 per day be assessed. Regarding all other issues, I grant 90 days, $250 per day.
Second by right.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, folks, so you have 7 days in which to comply with the nuisance conditions and have somebody come out and take a look at that. And then the rest of the items on the list, you have 90 days to complete. And then you just stay in touch with the officer as you go. Thank you very much. 7,300 for the nuisance conditions and 90 days, 250 a day for the remaining conditions.
Turn to page 5, number 8, case number CE 200-17861, Manuel Reynoso and Graciela Reynoso, 5101 West Trapnell Road. We have service and we have some parties here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
If I can get the people, the oath of witness, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And I need your name and address.
My name is Manuel Reynoso. My address is 5103 West Trapnell, Dover, Florida.
And the other gentleman, are you going to testify, sir?
Morning. My name is Juan Ortega. My address is 5007 5 Acre Road, Plant City, Florida.
Thank you. Is there someone else here? I have another name written down for this case. No? Okay. Do you recognize the property in the picture up there?
This is not my house. This is my neighbor property.
That's not your property?
No, ma'am.
Um,
I'm right there next to it, but
Our agenda says 5101 and this says 5103. We're to have a technical difficulty. One moment.
yes, sir, no problem.
It should be 5101.
The address is right, but it's not the house. But the address is right. The 5103 is on his, is his property.
It's the, I don't know.
But the picture is not the right.
Okay.
Sí, porque la dirección está bien.
Sí, no, no me fijé en la dirección que hice. Estaba tratando de
Sí, de que no la- no te vas a entrar.
It looks like maybe we have the wrong picture from code enforcement.
You would have the entire wrong price, 5101.
Or is it the right picture and just has the wrong address printed on it?
Yeah, the address that is on the slide is 5103. That would be next door. If this is 5101, it was just typo.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, it's a typo, meaning the picture is incorrect or the address on 5101 is correct?
The address on top of the slide is incorrect. It's 5101.
Okay, so we have the wrong picture. Can we proceed?
This property.
Good morning.
There is a case against 5103. But that is pending. That still hasn't gotten a hearing date. This is for 5101, that property up there. That's the
The
one
photo
that,
was 5101.
yes.
Do you, sir, is the property, is the picture of the property your property?
No, ma'am. The address.
These are the owners of 5103, and they should not have been notified.
See, I got I got my address, where I'm live is 5103, but I got two lots. I got four acres and 5103 and 4 acres and 51.
So you own both?
But.
Yeah, all these like one property.
Let me interject here, please. We're pulling this case. We apologize to these gentlemen for incorrectly pulling them in here. Thank you.
Gentlemen, we're terribly sorry, but we've got an error within ourselves. And so we're going to pull this one for now. So there isn't going to be any testimony on this case. We apologize for you coming down here to talk to us today. We're going to get our ducks in a row and then we'll call you back next month maybe, or whatever they can get that adjusted. Okay?
I have a question. We have a fine every single day. And we coming already, this is the second time. The first time I'm coming is no open here is.
If there are any fines running on this, there is a fine running on this case? Come on your phone.
There are fines running on his property, 5103. There's actually 4 sets of fines. 2 for watering violations and 2 not due to code, but it's due to red tagging on improper building.
So we're not addressing the 5103 property today, so we can't help you with what's running in regards to fines. My suggestion would be to get with the officer that's dealing with that particular case and find out what you can do about those violations and fines.
Can you give me the phone number or the?
Offline, one of the officers, there's plenty of officers in the back right now that can probably stand up and help you, give you the general number so you can call in to work on that. But we're going to move to the next case because this case we can't talk about it. It doesn't exist
All right.
on our
Okay,
agenda.
thank
So,
you.
sorry for the confusion, gentlemen. Thank you. Next case, please.
Turn to page 6, number 10, case number CE 2100-5058. The owner is Rosa Rentas, 9617 Owlwood Court. We have service and we have some people signed in here. So come forward now if you're here for this case.
Where is the restroom? She just.
Oh.
Can we
I guess
skip
we'll
forward and come back?
Move on to the next.
That would be great.
Okay.
We'll be right with you.
Next case, turn to page 7, number 13, case number CE 2100-1647. The owners are Vincent Edward Prater, Kenneth Edward Prater, and Cynthia Marie Raymond, 805 DeWolf Road. We have service, and we have someone here for this case too. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And state your name and address.
Kenneth Edward Prater Jr. I live at 805 DeWolf Road, Brandon, Florida, 33511.
Do we have a picture? Do you recognize the property in that picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Good morning, officer.
Officer Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case is a CE 21001647. The property is RSC 6. The violations are roofs and parts thereof and not inoperable vehicles.
Okay, sir, what would you like to tell us?
All the inoperable vehicles have been removed with the exception of one. That should be gone by the end of the day today or by this weekend. The MRT is gone, the BMW is gone, and the pickup truck, they're all gone. As far as the roof, that's being fixed right now as we speak. We have a company out there, they're fixing the fascias off it right now, so it should be done by this weekend.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Board, any questions or anyone like to make a motion? Ms. Wright?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I move in case number CE 21001647 that based on the evidence presented, I find that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, that I grant 7 days to come into compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $250 per day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Clayton, second.
Thank you, Ms. Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, sir. So within the next week, just get in touch with the officer. They'll come out and verify that that's been done, and then we're in good shape.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming down.
Okay,
Next case.
I think we can go back to the previous case now.
Okay.
Go back to page 6, number 10, case number CE 2100-5058, Rosa Rentas, and 9617 Owlwood Court.
Good morning.
Good morning. Raise your right hand, please. If you're both going to testify, then both of you.
I'm translating more like,
Okay, I
but I'm her
understand.
daughter.
Okay. Will she understand
Yes.
enough to know what I'm saying right now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and I need both of you to give us your name and address.
Okay. Dale la dirección.
Be sure to speak into the microphone.
9617 Owlwood Court, Tampa, Florida, 33635.
And your name, please?
Sarah Vega.
Okay. Name and address.
That's me, Rosa Renta.
Same address?
La dirección.
Okay. Do you recognize that property?
Conoces la propiedad.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, officer.
Morning. Christopher Bishop, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The property in question is 9617 Owlwood Court. Property was first inspected on 15 April 2021 with the final inspection on 22 March 2022. The violations were first seen were accumulations and outside open storage. The accumulations have been complied. The only remaining violation is outside open storage, and there has been contact with the owner.
So accumulations outside of the porch area is, it
Yes,
was
sir.
complied, but within the porch is still an issue?
Within the porch, yes, sir.
Okay.
And you got the duct there, you like this type of material, you got roofing materials and old.
And that's
carpet.
all under the carport?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Ladies, what would you like to tell us?
Just recently, a couple of things have been taken care of, but I'm aware that these things were put there within the last 2 weeks, but it can't be removed. If this is an issue, we can take care of it. We just need like a week notice and we can take care of it. Because most of the accumulation comes from my brother that's deaf mute and he likes to hoard things. He thinks he can salvage things. We work with him really hard, but if given a certain time period, we can take care of this.
Okay, officer, any life safety issues here?
No life safety.
Okay, so it sounds like you need a few weeks to get this taken care of.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna put my foot down.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Anyone like to have a question or make a motion? Ms. Wright?
Would 30 days be sufficient? Yes. Okay, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Thank you.
I move in case number CE 21005058 that based on the evidence presented, I find that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes or ordinances as listed in the staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history, that I grant 30 days to come into compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $150 per day be assessed. 150.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Versilla. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Okay, ma'am, you have 30 days in which to get that taken care of. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Turn to page 7, number 12, case number CE 200-18723. The owner is Ben Lang, 5226 Durant Road. We have service, and we have Mr. Lang here. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will. Thank
And
you.
state your name and address.
Yeah, my name is Bin, last name is Liang, and my current address right now is 5226 Durant Road in Dover. Yeah, Florida, zip code 33527. Yeah.
Thank you. Is that your property in the picture?
That's actually the main property for my my home. The second property is on the other side. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's
But that is your property where that trailer's at? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Officer Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, case CE 200-18723, 5226 Durant Road, Dover, Florida. This case is accumulations and overgrowth. Since I've taken over the case in, I want to say, since the beginning of March, he has made significant improvement on the property. There was a dilapidated shed and that he's had taken down and removed from the property, and a lot of grass has been cut up to this time.
Okay, but we definitely have some outstanding issues, and that's why we're here today.
In that general area, yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, what would you like to tell the board?
Yeah, the home, I bought it back to 2019. And when I bought it, a lot of the stuff, the grass, I cut it. And right now they just grow. I live in Orlando also, sell them back to here. And I will have somebody to take care of this. I cut it, yeah. So I need just a couple more weeks. I will finish, yeah.
Okay, that's in regards to the overgrowth. You understand the accumulations as well as far as the materials and things that are laying around need to be
I
cleaned
will
up as well?
move all the materials out, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and you just need a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, no problem. Any questions from the board or anybody would like to entertain a motion? Mr. Razio, please.
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Thank you.
In case number CE 200-18723, I move that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes and ordinances listed as staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation and the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, I grant 14 days to come into compliance, and if the compliance is not achieved by that date, then an amount of $200 per day be assessed.
Yeah, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, for the purpose of discussion,
Thank you.
would you consider 30 days? Because he said a few weeks, so.
Okay, I will amend my motion from 14 to 30 days.
And my second stands.
Thank you. So I have a motion for 30 days at $200 a day. Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, sir, you have 30 days, $200 a day after that if it's not completed, okay?
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next case, please.
Turn to page 8, number 14, case number CE 2100-6277. The owner is Marcy Yvette Bryant. Location 6418 North 44th Street. We have service, and we have some parties here. Good morning.
Good
We
morning.
have three people here. Will you come up to the podium where you can get close to the microphone? Don't be afraid.
It's okay.
Everybody who's going to testify, raise your right hand to take the oath of witness. Are you going to testify, sir?
Okay.
Raise your
right
right
hand, please.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, and I need each of you to give me your name and address.
Marcy Bryant. I'm Tyrone Bryant. I'm actually the husband of the property owner.
And the address?
13033 Waterborne Drive, Gibsonton, Florida.
Thank you. And sir, your name and address?
Darryl Robinson, and my address is 6418 North 44th Street.
Okay, come back to the podium, sir. I just want to make sure, are you the tenant? That's what I have written. Okay, thank you. One more thing. Do you recognize the property in the photo up there?
Yes, I inherited the property from my dad when he passed away.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Officer?
Good morning. I'm Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Officer Roy Livingston. I inspected the property located at 6418 North 44th Street on May 24th, 2021, which at the time was owner occupied and is not in foreclosure. At that time, violations observed were accumulations and windows and exterior doors. The property was initially inspected May 7th, 2021 by Code Officer Gonzalez. Some of the items have been taken care of. My last visit, March 11th, 2022, that window right there is still broken, and there's a large pile of yard debris and construction debris right there, lumber and miscellaneous accumulations in the backyard. So they don't have a lot to handle, but that pile may give them a little bit of difficulty. But yeah, that's it.
Question, in the picture, we're seeing a tarp, I'm guessing, over maybe an open garage or storage area. Is that an issue in regards to, I don't see that on here, but is that?
Yeah, that's not an issue on this case. The tarp, it looks like a structure that's intact and.
3 sides qualifies and therefore it's not on.
Yeah, 3 sides and a roof.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Okay, folks, what would you like to tell me? Us. Oh, sir, go ahead.
I have pictures, like the window, that right there, the garbage debris on top. Someone came in and dumped that on themselves because the gate right there, if y'all don't see, that gate is open. Someone came and dumped that. But right now I have a dumpster outside the house and I'm getting everything gone. Like the front, the side, all that's gone. The window right there is fixed. I have the pictures right here.
Okay.
So I say fix the window, all that right there is gone. Like I don't move the tiles, but like with the mulch that's under it, so I want to spread that into the yard. So that is the only thing that's back there is that pile of mulch.
Okay. Saying something, Mr. Tyrone, would you like something like that?
Actually, my wife and myself was unaware of, actually, we just found out last night that there was actually a court. So we were actually unaware of that because we don't actually go to the property because our son is living there. So we, expected that he would take care of it.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
So we are asking for a couple of weeks here to clean that up now that the property owner is aware of the situation.
Go back to the tenant. Sir, how much time do you think you need to?
I might say a week, but like I say, like, look, I have my picture, I have the dumps. Like I say, I'm getting stuff.
The bad news is if you show us, if you send us the pictures, it means we have to keep your phone. So I'm sure you don't want us to.
No, this is like, no. Okay. But I have, like I said, I have pictures, like.
I understand.
I have, like,
the good news through this process is that somebody's going to come out and check to make sure that's done. So what your testimony is right now is that You're in the process of working on it. You need some more time to complete it. How much more time do you think you
I
need to
say,
keep that done?
honestly, a week, but I don't even really need the week because, like I said, all that is gone. I just need to knock that down, and like the front and the side, all that's gone.
And the window has been
The
completed?
window's fixed. I was trying to show you, but the
I
window.
understand. It's a nice phone, so if you
I
want to
was trying to show, like the window's fixed.
no worries. Okay. Officer, go ahead.
I recommend on this one 30 days, just so I can make a few runs out there and fine tune his progress.
Understand. Ma'am, go ahead. What would you like to say?
Before I begin, I'm a little
You're
nervous.
fine. It's okay.
We had addressed this issue last year around this time. We was a female officer at the time. I physically, my husband and my son, cleaned this up. I get a phone call at 10 o'clock last night to tell me about a hearing this morning, and I left documentation. I'm being honest with you. 30 days is not a realistic. He doesn't have a job. How can he get that done? And unfortunately, I have to raise 2 new granddaughters that I'm going through family court with as we speak. This wouldn't be an issue if the courts in Hillsborough County Sheriff's would work with me as the homeowner to make this not happen. Because I'm going through family court and we're now guardians of our 2 granddaughters, 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. This has been ongoing since May of 2018. If I approach the courts and say, okay, I am trying to evict him out of this home because I didn't put him there, my mom allowed him to stay there. The courts looks at this to me as I'm being, that I'm interrupting the reunification type process. If he can get his child or the mother can get the children back. So my attorney, and unfortunately, guys, I'm being flat honest. The cost right now is not something that I can afford to just go buy and get things done. I just spent tons of money and parts of my deferred comp to pay for the attorney fees. So I am in the process, and I came, as you see, I rushed in today. I brought the wrong bag, but I can bring you documentation to show that. One, we're still with the court proceedings and why, and all the court cases, what we're going through, what we've been going through, plus Hillsborough County Sheriff and what they said I had to do and couldn't do with my own property. So I had to step back. I cannot afford to do the realistic numbers right now of what this will cost. Dumpster, trash, removal, and all.
It's right here. It's in front of the house right now.
And I understand that you have issues with the court and the things that are going on.
Yes,
What
but
we're
you-
addressing today is just the accumulations in the window.
Right, and if
And
you can give me at least 45 days, or at least if I have to go out and get extended funds to cover the cost of this, we have to be realistic.
Okay.
Money is involved with this.
I understand. I'm going to pass that over to the board. I understand your concern, and personally, if it was my vote, I would say that it's not a life safety issue, and I think the officers already addressed that. But
Yeah, 45 days is fine.
45
Okay.
days is what I'm
So
asking for.
we'll pass over to the board. I'll ask them if they have any questions, and then they'll do a motion. Okay?
It'll be much sooner than that, but I expand.
Totally understand. Thank you. Board, questions, comments? Anybody would like to make a motion?
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Clayton, please. Microphone. Thank you.
I move in case CE 21006-277 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history, I can't grant 45 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $150 a day be assessed.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Razio. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? All right, motion carries. Ma'am, you have 45 days, and after that time, it'll be a fine of $150 a day to get that completed. And just work with the officer, and he'll take care of it and come back out and inspect it, okay? Nothing more important than family, ma'am. Stay positive. Thank you. Next case, please.
Page 9, number 17, case number CE 2100-7174. The owner is Richard L. Langford and Marilyn D. Langford. Location 17016 Crawley Road. We have service. And Mr. Langford is here. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please, sir.
Richard Langford.
Raise your right hand,
Oh,
please.
Richard Langford.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sure, I do.
And now state your name and address.
Richard Langford, 17016 Qualley Road, Odessa, Florida.
Thank you. Good morning, officer.
Good morning.
I need to ask him if he recognizes the property and there's nothing up yet.
There's nothing there yet. Hold on one second. We'll get you to say that you like the picture up here on the screen in just a moment.
Okay, do you recognize the property in that picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrific. Good morning, officer.
Good morning. Steve Favors with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, case number CE 21007174. Address is 17016 Crawley Road, Odessa, Florida. It's owned by Richard and Marilyn Langford. The property is not in foreclosure, and it was first inspected on June the 18th, 2021. During the inspection, I identified the violations of accumulations and outside/open storage. Over the course of follow-up inspections, I found that both violations, the accumulation and outside open storage, still remain. I have been in contact with the owner since 2016 or 2021, since the case been initiated, and I conducted my final inspection on March the 15th, 2022.
Okay. Sir, what would you like to tell us?
Would I like to start?
Absolutely.
I don't hear good. I'm sorry.
Your turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. What can I say? A lot of the accumulation was brought to my house from my son, and some of it's mine. And we're getting a lot of it cleaned up. I've been in contact with the officer here quite a bit, and always made him welcome to come whether I'm there or not. And I got to admit that I did get caught up in a job that I took on which I had been working on a number of years, that took me to working nights and weekends along with my day job from June till actually a week ago. I got the elevator finished and turned over in a medical complex. So now I have my nights and weekends freed up to address a lot of this stuff. Along with that, my wife is very sick. She almost died a few years ago, so I also care for her quite a bit. And she is getting better, but then I got hit with COVID about a month and a half ago and gave it to her. And we're on the mend from that. And, what can I say?
Understand. How much time do you think you might need to get this completed?
I'd like 2 months, to be honest with you.
Okay. Any outstanding life safety issues, officer? It sounds like he's been working with you.
No, sir.
Okay. Excellent. Board, any questions, comments, motions?
Question to Steve. Do you have any problem with 60 days on this?
Do I have any problem with 60 days?
No, he's asking.
To the officer.
Oh.
No, I don't have a problem with 60 days. I mean, it's a lot he has to get done.
Okay. Anyone like to make a motion? That's right.
I'm prepared.
Thank you.
Approve in case number CE 21007174 that based on the evidence presented, I find that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in the staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, that I grant 60 days to come into compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $150 per day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Clayton.
Thank you, Ms. Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sir, you have 60 days to get that completed. Just stay in touch with the officer. Thank you. Next case, please.
Turn to page 10, number 20, case number CE 2101-5586. The owner is James Saunders, 12117 Wild Brook Drive. We have service, and someone is here for this case. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please.
Yes,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
And state your name and address.
Lori Saunders, 12117 Wild Brook Drive, Riverview, Florida, 33569.
And what is your relation to the property owner?
He's my husband, I'm his wife.
Okay. And do you recognize the property in the photo?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Officer Zalva.
Good morning, Board. Jason Zalva, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. On November 17, 2021, I arrived at 12117 Wildbrook Drive to investigate a tree trimming business that's being run on the premise, and I noticed two Conex containers sitting on the driveway and front yard. Upon arrival, we made contact with the owner, Miss Lori Sanders, who stands here before us today, and explained the complaint. She advised their sons bring trailers to the house, but they do not stay on the premise, and there was no active home-based business observed. As for the Conex containers, she stated that the contractors were doing work and having trouble getting material, and they may be there longer. At that point, I requested a 15-day notice of violation be sent to the owner. On December 14, 2021, that week, I received a call from a concerned neighbor stating that they were running business out of those boxes. I advised them I already had a case on it. And at that point, I showed up, saw the box was still there, met with Lori again, and she actually opened up one of the containers to show me that the inside of the Conex box was stuff from the garage because of the renovation that was being done. Because this case I'd given them time, we had received complaints, I referred it to hearing. Upon my arrival on March 15th this year, I updated photos and the Conex box remains. Yesterday, I received an email from Ms. Lori, and she advised me that they would be removed today.
Okay, ma'am, what would you like to tell the board?
One has been removed this morning, and so they're supposed to come back and get the other one, but I would just request an extra couple days just to make sure in case, but they're supposed to be removed today.
Okay, terrific. Board members? Okay, Ms. Clayton?
I move in case CE 21015586, that based on the evidence presented, I find that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history, I grant 14 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $200 a day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Durazio.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, ma'am, you have 14 days. Just stay in touch with Officer Zalva, and thank you for taking care of that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Next case, please.
Okay, I don't have any other people here unless I've missed somebody. I don't think so.
Okay, seeing that no one is present in the audience for the remaining cases on the agenda, the board will now review the case materials previously provided by county staff. And if the board finds if the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation, the board's ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented, the gravity of violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history in determining the amount of fine that will be assessed. Next case, please.
Turn to page 1, number 1, under continued cases, case number CE 2101-3583. This case was complied on March 23rd, 2022. Page 2, number 2, case number CE 2100-6863. This case was pulled per staff. Number 3, CE 2100-2431. The owner is Lourdes Oliveros Lugo, 7213 Delano Avenue. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Board. Armando Gutierrez, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was initiated February 2021. We have accumulations and roofs and or parts thereof. This case has been a year, and as far as the accumulations, it's still there. Nothing's been moved. The roof has not been touched either.
Okay. For purposes of I failed to mention prior to this one, for purposes moving forward, we're just going to rotate cases on a circle, starting with Ms. Clayton, and we'll come back around. So Ms. Clayton, you want to take this one? That's okay. If I would have said it earlier, you would have been ready. It's my fault. Microphone. Thank you.
I grant 30 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $300 a day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Razio.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next case, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Page 3, number 4, case number CE 2100-2283. This case complied on March 21st, 2022. Page 5, number 9, CE 2100-7123. The owner is the Harvest Time Worship Center, 9200 Memorial Highway. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning. Microphone, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Board. My name is Edward Spriggs, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case before us is CE 2100-7123. Address is 9200 Memorial Highway, Tampa, Florida. The owners of the Harvest Worship Church. The first time we visited this property was May of 21. Had outstanding commercial vehicles and inoperable vehicles all over the place. Since then, the violation had been complied as of just the other day. However, we want to have this remain, have a RIC placed onto this. Reason being is as you scroll through the pictures, they own that white 3-ton truck is what they use for hauling food back and forth from wherever they acquire it. The pastor fully knows that he's not supposed to leave it there overnight, but yet it's still done. They knew the case was coming up and has been removed. I spoke with them yesterday. In conversation, the pastor's wife had informed me that the truck is currently in Newport Richey, but they were complaining about the cost of fuel, and they're hoping to get things changed to a commercial zone so the vehicle can stay there. As it is right now, it is an RSC 6, so it's not authorized to be so.
Okay. Mr. Marcella?
I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code and Ordinance as presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with this code provision in order that it remain in compliance with this code provision.
Here we have a motion for remain in compliance. I have a second.
Second, Razio.
All right. All in favor? Okay. Remain in compliance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Page 6, number 11, CE 2100-5697. This case complied March 24th, 2022. Page 8, number 15, case number CE 2100-7090. The owner is Mercedes I. Pruna Espinosa. Location 4417 Cobia Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Roy Livingston, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Officer. I inspected the property located at 4417 Cobia Drive initially on May 21st, 2021. It was owner occupied and not in foreclosure. At the time, the violations were inoperable vehicles, and on a second visit in June 10th, 2021, they had a commercial vehicle parked there. Currently, all these violations have been complied. I'm looking for asking for a ruling on this. The issue is he brings cars in and he has a commercial dumpster and he brings that in. He'll park it in the front yard. So I've gotten multiple complaints, ADX complaints going back to 2019 on these activities. And then he'll remove everything and I'll go back out. And then a few days later, he'll have new vehicles there. So we're basically looking for a ruling in this case.
Mr. Razio.
Okay.
Staff is requesting a remain in compliance.
Case number CE 21007090. I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County codes and ordinances as presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with the code provision and order that it remain in compliance with this code provision.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second by Wright.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Remain in compliance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Page 9, number 16, case number CE 21005690. The owner is Deborah Ann Cacciatore and Sylvia Lynn Stiller. Location 13509 Fawn Ridge Boulevard. We have service and no one is present.
Looks like a guy with a big computer.
Go ahead, officer.
Steve Favors, Code Enforcement, case CE 21005690, address 13509 Fawn Ridge Boulevard, 33626. The owner is Deborah Ann Cacciatore. The property is not in foreclosure. First inspected on April the 29th, 2021. During the inspection, I identified 2 violations: overgrowth and nuisance condition being a dead, being a dead tree. Over the course of follow-up inspections, both violations remained the dead tree as well as the overgrowth. I have been in contact with the owner, and as of about 2 weeks ago, she told me that she was having everything taken care of, but obviously it wasn't. I last conducted my last inspection on March the 22nd, 2022.
Thank you. The question, I guess, is, it looks by the notes here that you're asking for remaining compliance on the overgrowth, but nuisance conditions exist. Does our order does basically put a remaining compliance on it, correct? You don't need 2 separate
I don't think
motions
it's
there?
remaining compliance because I don't think she came into compliance yet.
Okay. So both of them are outstanding?
Correct.
The overgrowth and the nuisance? Okay, excellent.
He's saying that the overgrowth is complied.
He's saying that it has not complied, that both the overgrowth and nuisance conditions exist. So we need to cover that in the motion. Ms. Wright, are you ready? Okay, go ahead.
I grant 15 days to come into compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Clayton.
Thank you, Ms. Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 15 days, $200 a day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Page 10, number 18, CE 21001819. This case complied March 16, 2022. Number 19, case number CE 21014450. The owner is FYRSFR Borrower LLC. Location 11213 McMullen Loop. We have service and no one is present.
Jason Zalva, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I arrived on October 15th, 2021. I arrived at 11213 McMullen Loop Road for a report of a toilet not flushing. Based on their description, it sounded like it could be a leach field or drain field issue. As they walked me to the backyard, the tenants, I observed the lift station was plugged into an outlet, not in conduit, into a GFCI box that was then piggybacked over to another GFCI box on the wall. Because of the shoddy electrical work, I cited them, but I did fix their issue as far as toilet not flushing because I was able to reset the GFCI outlet so the lift station then worked, it would flush. I cited the owner, gave a 10-day notice violation as of November 19th. They still had not fixed it. They are still having it still set the same way. And as of updated photos as of March 14th, the violation remains.
Ms. Clayton? Microphone.
Is this a health safety issue?
It's a general maintenance equipment, and I would say yes, because the lift station should be hardwired in as part of the septic system. It's not to code.
I grant 7 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $300 a day be assessed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Razia.
Thank you, Mr. Razio. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 7 days, $300 a day.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Officer Galvin.
And that concludes the agenda.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time. Thank you to everyone online. Appreciate your time for stopping in. We are adjourned.